All right, what's up, people? Good afternoon. I mentioned in my last video that about half of the practice squad spots were filled per the updates trickling out on Twitter through the various beat reporters. Well, not too long after I got that video up, everything with one exception got released. So Brady Henderson has the full practice squad information as we know it right now here in this tweet. So let's go ahead and go over it. 15 of the 16 spots are filled. 15 of the 16. So the one remaining spot, likely we are hoping that John Radigan clears waivers, and if he does, we're going to throw him on there. So basically, assuming that's the case, and that seems very likely to me, that seems like a good bet to me, we know who the practice squad is going to be for now. So at this point, I think we have a very solid idea of what this roster in full is looking like going into the season. Some stuff is still going to happen. It is 4 o'clock right now. We still haven't heard anything about short-term IR, so maybe those guys are doing well in their rehab, but we might still hear something about that. That will clear roster spots for us to get other guys if we decide to do that. But other than that, everything's pretty much settled. So let's go ahead and take a look here at the practice squad. He's got the Brady Henderson's got the card. And let's go ahead and zoom in on it a little bit and take a look at our practice squad. So, quarterback, Holton Allers. By the way, I'm going to go through the whole thing. Half of these guys we already knew, but half of them we didn't. So, let's just go through one by one. Quarterback is Holton Allers. Running back is Roderick Thompson. So, we do manage to keep him around. And Bryant Kobach, who I thought had been waived due to an injury, but apparently he feels good enough to be on the practice squad. So we got two running backs on the practice squad, Kobach and Thompson. I think a lot of people are going to like that. Both guys showed impressive stuff in the preseason. I like having both guys here for sure. I thought Kobach was going to revert to our IR, so the fact that he's able to be on the practice squad is, I think, awesome news. Feeling great about that. Wide receiver, we already knew about Aesop Winston Jr., but we got two more receivers here. We got Cade Johnson, who personally I'm happy that he's here. Even though, don't get me wrong, I do understand that he's been here a little while now and hasn't done a lot. I've just always kind of liked Cade Johnson and felt like there was some NFL potential there. So, don't mind keeping him around. And Matt Landers. Matt Landers sticks the landing on the practice squad, which I'm really happy about. That was a big one for me. Really wanted to keep Landers. Great to keep him around here in Seattle. Awesome stuff. So, those are your three receivers, and everybody else, I guess, they're out of luck right now. Let's see here. Tight end, we have Tyler Mabry, which we were told about earlier today. Offensive lineman, looks like we have two. We have Greg Island, who I expected, and Joey Hunt, which, I mean, that's kind of an interesting one. Obviously, Joey Hunt has a very negative reputation in Seattle, which he's done stuff to earn that negative reputation. As a practice squad guy, it's whatever. But I know that there were some people out there who were hoping we could get somebody with a little more potential, a little more upside, somebody younger who could actually blossom into a rosterable player at some point. Joey Hunt, we've seen the best that he can do, and it's not very good. So Joey Hunt being on the practice squad, would have preferred another younger offensive lineman, but it's pretty whatever, I guess. Island, however, I do think has a chance to. I don't want to say he has a chance to ever become a starter in this league because that's a long shot, but I do think he has a chance to be a valued member of a 53-man roster at some point, so I like keeping him around. I believe that's it for the offense, so looking over on the defensive side, defensive linemen, we really only have one. It's Matt Gotel, who, again, look for him to be active as early as week one. There's an opportunity here for him to play a little bit because we're going to need some help at nose tackle. And that's it for the linemen, which I know is going to concern some people because our defensive line is so thin and we've already got some injuries up there. But we did manage to keep Levi Bell and Patrick O'Connell as far as linebackers go. So Levi Bell, we tried to play him at defensive line a little bit in this last game. Didn't go all that well. So I don't know if we're looking at that as being a way for him to eventually get out there. But we do manage to keep him on the practice squad, which I think is a big win. The way he played in the preseason, I really thought someone was going to covet that dude. So, big win there. Big win there. And again, supposedly the last spot that is open, the 16th spot, is being held for Radigan. So, we're probably going to have two inside linebackers and then one edge rusher, a little bit of an oversized edge rusher in Bell. So those are the linebackers on the practice squad, and that gets you to cornerback. Looks like we have two, Lance, Boykin, and Artie Burns. Boykin makes sense. I'm surprised that Artie Burns even wants to be on our practice squad. I'm surprised that he doesn't just want to get out there and try to latch onto another team's 53-man. With the way he played in preseason, with the fact that he is an established veteran, I would have thought that he would have been like, no, I don't want to sign on anybody's practice squad. I'm trying to get on an actual team. I'd rather sit at home if I got to be on a practice squad. So maybe he really likes it here. And maybe he has some kind of a feeling that he may get the call if somebody like a Mike Jackson isn't cutting it this year. So those are the two cornerbacks. Kind of cool to keep Artie Burns around without having to use a 53-man spot on him, though. I will say that. Like, it's nice to have him here, be able to call him up and put him on the roster at some point if we need to, but not have to actually expend a real roster spot on him until we know we need him. So that's pretty good. And we got the one safety, Ty Okada, who I think that spot would have been Joey Blunt's, but Blunt got hurt. He's on our IR now, I believe. So, yeah, there had to be somebody, and it's going to be Okada. And that's it. That's it. So, running through it one more time here. Holton Aller, Roderick Thompson Jr., Bryant Kobach, Matt Landers, Aesop Winston Jr., Cade Johnson, Tyler Mabry, Greg Island, Joey Hunt, Matt Gotel, Levi Bell, Patrick O'Connell, probably eventually John Radigan, Lance Boykin, Artie Burns, and Ty Okada. That is your practice squad. And we're pretty much set, guys. We have a pretty good idea what this is going to look like. Obviously, there's still some stuff that needs to get settled here. I do expect at least one player to go on short-term IR. Later in this season, we're going to get people off the PUP, like Faolu and Monet. You can see them listed up here as well. And when that happens, we're probably going to have to get rid of a guy to clear space. Eskridge is going to come back eventually. If we do decide to keep him around, we're going to have to clear space for him. But for the moment, things are about as settled as they can be. So we are, 11 days away from the first game of the season, I believe, 11. And I feel like most of the important stuff has been settled, and even most of the unimportant stuff has been settled. So let me know what you guys think. Are you really missing anybody? Is there anybody you really wanted to put on the practice squad? I've heard some people say Perry, Roderick Perry, the other defensive lineman. We should have kept him around. Some people are going to be missing him. Jacob Sykes got left off, even though he played pretty good in the preseason. I don't know if there's really too much else that people are really hurting over in terms of guys who didn't make it that they wanted to make it. I think we kept the receivers that people really care about. Maybe Griffin Hebert. That's the one that's kind of hurting me a little bit because I really like Griffin Hebert. Really interesting player, really interesting prospect. But moving on. And that's about it. So see you guys later. Go Hawks. Catch me on Twitch tonight. I'll probably be on there. And that's really all that need be said right now. So go enjoy the rest of your day and know that the Seahawks 53-man roster and practice squad is more or less at this point settled.